So Crown Jewel 2025 just concluded, and it was a very different PLE. We didn't get no shockers, we didn't get no shenanigans, no surprises, no shocking returns. But you know, people, maybe that's exactly what we needed. That's exactly what we asked for. Yes, wrestling is all about moments, shockers, surprises, but I feel like we got plenty of that lately. All we needed at this point was a night of good wrestling. In a very weird way, even though this was as basic as it gets, this premium live event felt refreshing. You know, WWE kinda trained me into believing we're going to get a shocker in the main event, so I'll admit, when you got Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes, I was like, okay, they told Division not to interfere, so who is the next member who's gonna cost Cody the match? I'm waiting, Papa H. Give me that shocker of the night. But by the time the match ended, I actually thought, okay, that's good. I will say though, watching premium live events at 3 p.m. in my country doesn't feel very nice. Watching a PLE in daylight is just a bit odd, isn't it? But people, let's talk about Crown Jewels. The first match of the show was Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed, which I actually enjoyed. Australian street fight, people, and like I've said, you're not gonna get any hot takes during this video. This was a good match. All of the matches were good, but I also like the story WWE told in this match, because obviously we got Braun Breaker. So, you know, first of all, Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns is going to happen in the WWE, the sooner the better. I mean, I like these matches. I like Bronson Reed versus Roman Reigns, but obviously what WWE are trying to do right here is building Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker, which is going to be a huge match. Not gonna happen at the next premium live event because I believe it's going to be War Games, right? But in the near future, we're getting this match, and I feel like that's exactly what WWE built during it. Now, we also got the Usos. We got some miscommunication, and they even hit Roman Reigns. So eventually, people, Braun Breaker defeats Roman Reigns, and Roman ain't happy about that. He's pissed at the Usos, which tells a decent story. So who's turning heel? Is it both of the Usos? Is it Jay? Is it Roman? Because this family ain't getting along, people. I probably misheard that shit, but he basically said, I'm not spending Christmas with you or something. Did I misheard that shit? And people, how shocking is it that Bronson Reed actually defeated Roman Reigns? That is a big career achievement. That's like beating John Cena in 2012. So, you know, on a personal level, very happy for Bronson Reed. I really wanted to see Bronson Reed winning this match. I knew it's going to take a lot of bullshit, and sure, I said we didn't get, you know, shenanigans during this premium live event, but it's the different kind of shenanigans I'm actually talking about. The premium live event ending with a big return, big surprise, and it's like, okay, I get it, I like it, it's the same shit. So I knew it's going to take a lot for Bronson Reed to beat Roman Reigns, but now he can brag about it for a couple of months. I like that, and I can't wait to see who's actually turning heel. Is anybody turning heel? Is it Roman? Is it Jay? Is it Jimmy? You know, people are speculating Jey Uso is going to turn heel. I don't see that happening with all the Yeet merchandise. It's just so unlikely. One thing I hope for is that something is going to happen. You can't just be teasing this shit, and in the end they're like, yeah, we're family. You gotta give us something. Then it was Stephanie Vaquer versus Tiffany Stratton for the Crown Jewel Championship. I'ma be honest, people, at least in this match, the championship felt like it meant something. I mean, it kinda makes sense when the entire storyline is basically made the best women win. You know, there was nothing to it, but the match was good. Obviously it was. I enjoyed it, the crowd loved it. By the way, like 80% of the people in the audience were wearing a John Cena shirt. I assume these were given for free. I'm gonna assume that, but again, you're not gonna get a big hot take during this video, I don't feel like, because every match was decent. Unlike in the main event, at least I felt like this championship means something, especially with the result. So I was actually surprised that Stephanie Vaquer won against Tiffany Stratton. My thought process was Tiffany's been champion for such a long time, probably the longest reigning WWE champion at the moment out of all the champions we have in the WWE, so I was like, she's definitely winning. But WWE put a strap on, rocket strap. What I'm trying to tell you, WWE put a rocket on her back and are giving Stephanie a push. She won the championship, got congratulated by Triple H, felt like a big deal, cut a promo. She's the best women's champion in the WWE right now. It kinda made sense. Nice showcase match, and I know none of these matches actually mattered, but in a weird way, Raw was good, SmackDown was good. All we needed was some good wrestling to actually conclude these storylines, conclude this build, and that's exactly what we got during this premium live event. So I'm happy Stephanie won. Wasn't my prediction, doesn't necessarily mean I didn't want to see that happening. Then we got AJ Styles versus John Cena. Man, this was a ride. So AJ Styles was wearing his TNA attire. John Cena gave a personalized introduction to AJ Styles, you know, Mr. Total Nonstop Action and all of these other nicknames and, you know, shit he did in the WWE. That was beautiful. And man, the tributes, like, I know some may say it was goofy, but this is like, both people are basically retiring. I like what WWE did right here. We saw so many tributes during this match to Samoa Joe, Chris Jericho, which is crazy. Are WWE building this shit? Like, the commentators kind of piss me off sometimes. I know you don't want to mention him because he's still probably with AEW, but they're like, break the walls down, Michael. Rusev, Christopher Daniels, The Miz, Randy Orton, Undertaker, Frankie Kazarian, Shawn Michaels, Sting, and even Bray Wyatt, which is already one of my favorite WWE moments of the year, probably in top 5. This was beautiful. He hit the Sister Abigail. Everybody pulls out their phones, turning on the lights and stuff. That was a very beautiful moment, and it seemed like John Cena is actually tearing up. That was absolutely beautiful, and this is what wrestling is all about. You know, kind of also makes you realize sometimes you don't need these crazy-ass moments, returns, shockers, to have something really, really, really memorable happen in the match. I felt like that was absolutely beautiful. And in general, the match was really good. I really enjoyed it. Now, John Cena won the match. That was not a surprise. That was the perfect result. Absolutely appreciate. They showed each other respect. There's somebody in this world who was expecting a return of Edge. And I know that for a fact. People, you gotta stop being delusional. So John Cena winning was the perfect result. Now people, I know this match had no build, but it worked out in the end. Since we only have 5 dates left, do we really need any big builds? Is it even possible? Like, if we're going to get this kind of stuff from now on, I'm gonna be completely happy. Just celebrating the retirement, the career of John Cena. That's all we really need at this point, and it made me kind of realize, even though I appreciate the fact that we got to see a heel John Cena, I kind of wish more of his retirement tour was like this. Because, you know, WWE kind of fooled me into thinking that John Cena is still okay, not great in the ring. But then you have matches like this, matches against Cody, Logan Paul, and you're like, oh, so he's a good wrestler, you just watered him down. That was absolutely crazy, one of my favorite WWE matches of the year, which had even one of my favorite moments of the year. Absolutely love this. This was my favorite match of the night. I'm gonna give you a hot take, even though I love the main event, this should have been the main match. This should have closed the pay-per-view. Then we got the Kabukis versus Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. So obviously Rhea Ripley is Australia's own, but I also like that WWE didn't necessarily, you know, overhype that shit, focus on that too much, because this is Io Sky's story. It's all about Io, and WWE realized that. Again, no hot takes. This was a good match. Everybody enjoyed it. But I like that even though people were chanting for Rhea Ripley, you know, it wasn't all about Rhea Ripley getting that crowd moment. You know, at the end, she tagged Io Sky and Io Sky got the W. So this is Io's story, and WWE allowed Io to shine. But if I was booking this match, and I know why it happened, Rhea Ripley is from Australia, don't want to see her losing, I wish Kabukis won. You know, they're heels, they turned on Io Sky, they need this delusional idea in their minds that, you know, we did this for a reason and it's working out, we're better off without Io Sky. So I feel like I don't necessarily agree with the result, I understand it though. And again, since this is not the first time WWE's been in Australia, I appreciate the fact that it wasn't all about, it's Rhea Ripley's hometown, so we gotta make it all about Rhea Ripley, even though, like, please don't misunderstand this shit. Rhea is probably my favorite female wrestler. Finally, we got Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. So, again, yes, I was kind of expecting some kind of a shocker. Not necessarily wanting it, but like, okay, what is actually happening during this match? Now, this was great. This was great. We all knew this is gonna be good. It's Cody versus Seth. Every match they had was good. The story was 3-0. Seth Rollins never beat Cody in the WWE. But, even though it was for the championship, I didn't necessarily feel like it was even that big of a deal, like they actually cared about it. The biggest focus of the match, the most important thing about this match, was the watch. It's what the watch represents, people. WrestleMania 40, that beautiful moment, right? And they turned this little piece of story into such a big deal because that's exactly how Seth Rollins actually defeated Cody Rhodes. Now, sure, some shenanigans, some cheating, not necessarily fair, but Seth Rollins still got his first victory against Cody Rhodes in the WWE, cut a promo, and we close the show. That's it, people. We move. No Brock Lesnar, no Goldberg, no Primo, none of these legends. I thought a new member is going to debut just because Seth said don't interrupt, and I was like, okay, he has somebody else, but that didn't happen. They turned this little side story of this watch into such a big piece of storytelling. I kinda appreciate that. And Seth Rollins winning just makes sense because this is a secondary champion, whether we like it or not. The most important championship in the WWE is the WWE title, so I feel like WWE, drink every time I say WWE, there's one more, successfully put over the World Heavyweight Championship, which was desperately needed. It's a heel character. He's gonna cheat. That's understandable. But at least, for the most part, it was all about just good ass wrestling. Maybe too many finishers, admittedly, but most of the time I give it a pass if it's a premium live event and it's an important match. So that was your Crown Jewel, people. Raw was good, SmackDown was good, Crown Jewel was good. Can we keep up? Something is definitely changing in the WWE. Maybe they started listening again. I don't know what it is. You know, don't expect the prices to go down, none of that shit, but at least hopefully the storytelling is gonna improve in the WWE. Maybe they got too comfortable. I feel like that's definitely the case. Every arena was a sold out. They're like, well, no matter what we do, people are loving our shit. Obviously, they got some backlash. Like I've said, they got too comfortable, but lately, some of these shows felt really, really decent. And I really, really, really hope I can say the same thing after Monday Night Raw. Thank you so much for watching The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.